Is Paul. Yes, Now, the applicant assures that it will comply with Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Yes. As amended 42 U.S. Code 2000, which prohibits discrimination on the basis of race, color, or national origin in any program or activity receiving federal financial assistance. Yes. Then there's that Title IX of the Education Amendments of 1972 as amended 20 U.S. Code 1681, which prohibits discrimination on the basis of sex in any education program or activity receiving federal financial assistance. Yes. Then there's Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act of 1973. Yes. As amended 29 U.S. Code 794. Which prohibits discrimination on the basis of disability in any program or activity receiving federal financial assistance. Yes. Then there's the Age Discrimination Act of 1975, as amended 42 U.S. Code 6101. Yes. Which prohibits discrimination on the basis of age in any program or activity receiving federal financial assistance. Yes. If applicable, the Boy Scouts of America Equal Access Act of 2001, 20 U.S. Code 7905, yes, which requires equal access for the Boy Scouts of America and other designated youth groups, yes, to meet in public schools. This law applies to any public elementary school, public secondary school, local educational agency, or state educational agency that has designated open forum or limited public forum and that receives funds made available through the department. All regulators, guidelines, and standards issued by the department under any of these statutes. Yes. Now, I had mentioned a few days ago about that executive order. Yes. Well, when I found out about the fraudulent use of the state court system, yes, where I was not given any notice, I would say that for the last 6.5 years, you've been in violation of all of these civil rights acts. Now, maybe my sons wanted to be in the Boy Scouts, but you didn't give me actual notice of court hearings. Yes, I wasn't able to talk to them. Ouch! Now, I'm going to go through each one of these civil rights certificates, yes, for every institution that thinks that, well, we can issue dissolutions of marriage where you give custody of a man's 5 sons, Boy Scouts of America, and not a one of them would have wanted to be in the Boy Scouts. Well, the executive order says that as a parent, you have to protect my rights. Now, for every one of these institutions that signed one of these certificates, yes, the civil rights certificates, I'm going to find out if they know about the court that does not have a reply before having civil dissolution of court hearings. And then I'm going to go through all the grants of each and every school of the United States of America. I'm going to look at the actual bonds that are used to build those schools. Then I'm going to look at how many fraudulent court hearings have you been having because you wouldn't strike from the actual docket. There being no reply on the part of the respondent or the petitioner. Yes, not being any proof that the respondent received actual notice of court hearings. And not doing what's necessary to make sure to protect every school bond that was issued with a credit rating. Now, I want that dissolution of marriage removed. And for every county that thought the court rules really didn't matter, the actual amount that we're paying in bond interest rates because of the credit rating of your lackadaisical way of handling the actual courts of this nation, you're gonna fucking find out that I'm really pissed off at this fucking court for wanting me to have psychotropic medication against my will when I informed you that I was not given actual notice and the opportunity to be heard before you issued that fraudulent protection order that's been used to arrest me numerous times with the understanding that there was no evidence. In fact, I was in Port Angeles, Washington on December 31st of 2015. I was sitting right here on June 16th of 2017, and the police department thought They didn't have any obligation to inform the court that I was not in Brennan, Washington, and that I was not cyberstalking. I was not in violation of a civil contempt of the restraint provisions of the actual fucking fraudulent protection order. And you're gonna make me go to court.